Common Core. Helping Spanish heritage speakers and language learners get at the heart of Common Core. Presented to you by escuelaton.com, where we seek to empower language learning and instruction one beat at a time. Reading anchor número 3. Say it. I have to say it, everybody. Ya basta. Ahora, we need to examine some quantitative and qualitative data in order to make a decision adentro within ourselves that we will achieve more than what any statistic could ever predict. Let's go ahead and take a look at one. 37% of 4th graders and 26% of 8th graders cannot read at the basic level. And on the 2002 NAEP, which is a national assessment, 26% of 12th graders demonstrated that they could not read at the basic level. That is, when reading grade-appropriate text, the students cannot extract the general meaning or make obvious connections between the text and their own experiences, or make simple inferences from the text. En otras palabras, they cannot entender, ellos no entienden lo que acaba de leer. ¿En qué grado están ustedes? ¿Están en el 4º grado, el 8º, en el 12º? Well then, if you're in the 4th grade, that means 37% of you all, or your peers, cannot read at a basic level, on a basic level. En el 8º grado, we have 26% que no se puede leer. Y también en el 12º grado, 26% de los estudiantes no puede leer en un nivel básico. Let's all say it together. Ya basta. Enough already. We will read above a basic level. Nosotros podemos hacer inferencias y sacar conclusiones. And we can and we will comprehend what we read sin excusas. Time out for the excuses, everybody. You do not want to be a part of the percentage of people that cannot read and perform. Go ahead and get started on our anchor standard for reading for the day. We're going to take a look at the English Language Arts Standards for College and Career Readiness, Reading Anchor Standard número 3. Analyze how and why individuals, events, or ideas develop and interact over the course of a text. So what is this anchor standard asking me to do? ¿Qué necesito hacer? How am I supposed to do it? ¿Cómo necesito hacerlo? ¿Y por qué? Let's look at the what. We need to analyze the text. The text includes the plot, characters, ideas, and all of the main events. How do we need to do this? Well, according to Reading Anchor Standard number 1, we need to read closely. No hay atajos sin trabajo. That phrase means there's no shortcuts, just hard work. It means if you want to get what you want to get at the end of the road, which is we want to be able to read and analyze text in order to not just be successful now, pero también para nuestros futuros, then we need to read closely, not just simply skim through. And how are we going to do this? We're going to actually analyze and break down what does it mean to effectively and adequately analyze a text. And por qué plus, why plus, so that we can determine how and why the plot, characters, ideas, and events develop and interact over the course of a text. Okay? And the plus factors highlighted for us in yellow. We not only need to identify and determine how and why plot and characters do things throughout the text, but we need to determine what they do over the course of the text, not just identifying, oh, that's a protagonista. I know that's a protagonist. That's an antagonist. That's not enough. How does their character develop? How do they interact with other characters and principles and things that are going on in the text? So, analyze. In inglés or en español, analizar. According to Merriam-Webster's dictionary, analyze means to study something closely or carefully. We went over that in Anchor Reading Standard number 2. However, I want us also to focus on some of the synonyms. This implies that analyzing the act suggests for us separating or distinguishing the component parts of something so as to discover its true nature or inner relationships. Okay? 4 synonyms that really resonate with me are separate, to examine, to classify, and to assess. And if we look at the first letter of each of these words, S-E-C-A, That spells out what, everybody? Seca. Now, I know you might be wondering, what does the word seca and dry have to do with conducting an analysis? Seca, again, that is an acronym for separating, examining, classifying, and assessing. In order to help us further understand what seca means and how this applies to analyzing, let's take a look at what one of the founding fathers of los Estados Unidos de América, Benjamin Franklin, dijo. When the well is dry, they, referring to people, know the worth of water. Bear with me for poco más minutos and you will understand what we're getting at. So take a look at this well. Clearly this well is dry, the water is gone, it's been used up. So people now can value the water a little bit more because it's all gone. And if you're thirsty, you really are going to be valuing that well, right? And now you know the true worth of the water. When the well is dry, they know the worth of the water. Let's now take that principle and apply it to the act of analyzing. When the analysis of a text está seca, when it's dry, then that means the reader knows the core of the text. That means you've separated the characters, the plot, you've broken it down. You have examined each component of the text. Now you're able to classify and assess ultimately the text. So when the analysis of a text está seca, when it's dry, then that means you, the reader, you know the core of the text. And now you're adequately able to determine how and why the plot, characters, ideas, and events have developed and interacted over the course of the text. In otras palabras, you know you have mastered the skills of reading Anchor 3 when you can use a seca approach to analyze the main components of a text, the plot, the characters, main events, and ideas, and when you can determine how and why the plot, characters, ideas, and events develop and interact over the course of the text. That's that Y+, not just analyzing and identifying, but analyzing and making a determination. So, whenever you are asked to analyze a text, remember seca, that you need to separate, examine, classify, and then make an assessment. And when the analysis of a text está seca, then you, the reader, know the core of the text. This has been another podcast of Al Corazón de Common Core. Gracias a todos de ustedes por haberse tomado tiempo de mirar este video. I hope that all of you have learned something that can not only help your current reading comprehension skills, but also can be of an assistance for you in your future. Teachers, be sure to check out escuelaton.com for lesson plans, musical mnemonics, and strategies to help you maximize instructional time, increase student engagement, and most importantly, promote second language acquisition for all of your students. Maestros y profesores, ¿les gusta este video? ¿Quisieran más estrategias para reforzar el Common Core en sus clases? If so, visit escuelaton.com to learn more information about Comprendo Common Core en la clase de español, where you get 10 CCSS aligned learning tasks for Spanish language learners. That is escuelaton.com. See you next time. Adios.